1 minute warning. We need everyone to get to their seats or you're paying the bar bill. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2023 Bass Fishing Hall of Fame induction night at this beautiful facility, Johnny Morris's Wonders of Wildlife National Museum and Aquarium. Thank you for being part of this evening. Tonight, we celebrate the sport, and we celebrate the amazing people that made this sport and build this sport and continue to build this sport year after year. And for those of you who have been to a few of these, it's not hard to say the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame gets better and bigger every single year. And a major reason for that is because we have a home, and not just any home, one of the most incredible homes you could ever imagine right here at WOW. And ever since we got a physical home, the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame has skyrocketed, and so it should. And that is all because of one man. And that man is with us here tonight. Quite simply put, he's the greatest conservationist of our lifetime. I'd like to welcome him to the stage, Mr. Johnny Morris.
Thank you, Dick. He gets a little carried away on stuff. I'm just like you. How many people, anybody here like to fish? Heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And man, I just thinking, how blessed are we to spend most of us in the room so much of our lives around the greatest sport ever, just to go fishing. And it's special to have from everybody in our company. Thank you. I think about where we all started tonight. I got an old movie I came across the other day. It really touched me, but we come here tonight, we think about Ray Scott. And I don't know what I'd be doing in my life if it hadn't been for Ray Scott. I know it wouldn't have been near as much fun. And just the people meeting in that first tournament, and it's a lot to celebrate and carry on the history. And just say from all of us, I know we'll celebrate these guys later, but the people that we honor tonight being inducted into the Professional Bass Fishing Hall of Fame, and Glenn Andrews, Ozarks legend, Bruce Holt, Michael Iaconelli. He's kind of a bashful kid, but anyway, it's special to have everybody here. And we do have a few updates we're excited to share with you about the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame, where some of us gathered earlier. But we're rerouting the flow of traffic so that everyone that comes through Wonders of Wildlife in the aquarium, it won't be an option, that everybody will go through the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame. And this will happen in this November. Everything's set to go. And then after you exit the hall, it'll lead more into some new aquariums, really celebrate bass as a species of fish. And so I wanted to share this with you. I think so many of these fishermen that are members of the Hall of Fame, and all of you influencers in life. What does that mean? You hear a lot about influencers on social media, but then who introduces people to the great outdoors? Grandmas, grandpas, moms and dads, buddies. And what does that mean? And I just think, to me, everybody in this room, Bill Dance, Roland, like Kevin, so everybody here, as you think about your influence on future generation, generations. And just recently, it was National Hunting and Fishing Day, and Dale Jr., who's a honorary chairman of this, and he's a great influencer, but he posted this little movie about taking his little girl, Isla, out fishing, and I just wanted to share it with you.
All right, Isla, you got caught a fish. This is your third fish today.
Yep, it sure is. And I can't wait to show Mom. She's gonna be so happy.
We found us a little honey hole right here in the boat
we
dock.
found us a hole. We found us a honey hole.
Yeah. Okay. So keep fishing, right?
Yep.
That's what it's all about. And then I got another movie of my little granddaughter. I nicknamed her Angelfish. She loves fishing, and I think she likes to keep a fish now and then. Ray was big on like catch and release. Sometimes they're good in the skillet, but I wanted to share this little film too.
I want to keep it to eat.
You want to what?
I want to keep it, Daddy.
To do what with it?
To eat it.
You want to eat it?
Yeah. Let's eat it. Look, Daddy.
Yeah. How you gonna cook it?
Put in a put olive oil.
Olive oil?
Yeah.
And then what?
And then we put in there, and then everybody can eat it when it's done.
Oh, you do it in like the microwave or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, look, the fish is eating my net.
Everybody can eat it. She thinks big. So I just feel so blessed to be here tonight. I think we can all feel blessed, like the guy upstairs. Our blessings to spend many of us our lives doing something we love. And one of my favorite quotes about fishing I wanted to share with you is from Ernest Hemingway. I don't even have to look at it. It's like in a lifetime spent fishing, I've come to realize it's not the big fish that you catch, but the people that you meet and the friends that you make along the way that matter the most. And the memories of fishing, I went through my scrapbook. In 1970, this was all, well, maybe this is somewhere around there, but meeting these guys have become a part of my life, and we all have these stories, many of us through this great sport of fishing and competitive fishing. And this is Bill Dance coming up. There's another picture Bill talks about. It said Bill Dance in Seagram's $5.95 or something. Here's Bill. This is a classic. Some of you have seen this, but this is where we started 13 years, my dad's liquor store. And we kept, every time we'd run bait on sale, then he could sell some more beer, so everybody was happy. So the other day, I came across, just by some fate, a buddy sends me a movie. And it was a film clip of a Bassmaster Classic in 1974. And I watched this. And after I watched it, Bill Dance narrated. I called Bill. And in this little film, I want to share it with you, but it just stirs so much memories. And you'll see who wins this tournament, the Classic. He won $15,000. And just think about how the sport's evolved. There's a quote in this movie. It's awesome. And a lot of us fishermen can think about our wives and our partners. And Bill's quote from this film clip, I turned into a slide. I'm grateful to my wife, Diane, who I love, and she loves me, and she lets me go fishing. So, girls, thank you for letting us go fish, and I want to share this movie with you.
Introducing Bill Dance of Memphis, Tennessee, bass angler extraordinary. He was the first superstar of professional bass fishing, winning 7 titles in the first 16 tournaments and far outdistancing all the other anglers in total tournament points. He's been Bass Angler of the Year more often than any other man. last year, he was runner-up in the Miller High Life Bassmasters Classic, the top tournament in the bass angler's world, a prize that so far has eluded all the top bass professionals.
Right now, he's about 21 or 2 pounds from the lead. Are you ready? Oh, not quite. 18 pounds, 12 ounces.
It was that close, and a big bass he lost that final afternoon would have given him the cup. He was named Bass Angler of the Year again this year.
I'm grateful. I'm deeply grateful to the great people in the Bass Angler Sportsman Society who conduct these fine tournaments, to people like yourselves who compete in these tournaments, and to the people who write about these tournaments. And most of all, I'm grateful to my wife, Diane, who I love, and she loves me and lets me fish. Thank you very, very much. The 29 best bass fishermen in the world are often racing to their chosen spots to determine, in this $15,000 winner-take-all competition, which one, at this particular time and place, can catch the greatest number of pounds of legal bass. One angler may speed right through under many bridges, while another, like Dave Hilton of Dyersburg, Tennessee, thinks the best fishing is likely to be right under the bridge, and brings in a small bass to prove they're there. Glenn Wells of Greenbrier, Tennessee, a longtime campaigner on the tournament trail, changes lures, typically by switching rods, to save precious fishing time.
I think it'd be a tough tournament.
What are you going to do?
I don't know how I'm going to do it. It's pretty tough.
Because today should have been a good day of fishing. Caught a few small ones, but not too many.
Well, I don't think it's going to take very much. I don't know. I sure didn't have any luck today at all.
Bill Dance, how many pounds you catch?
I crashed and burned. Almost all the fish come in alive and stay healthy in special tanks for later release.
Another man here named Roland Martin, one of our all-time great fishermen. 2 bass, 2 alive. 11, 9, 11.
It's Roland Martin who walks off with the honors and leads the first day.
Well, tonight, when you lay there trying to go to sleep, you're going to be wondering what you were doing that they weren't doing.
Man, what do you mean sleep? I'm going to have about 6 beers and go to bed. Just lay there.
Those Millers.
Millers, yeah.
Time to relax again, if you can. By this time, most of us have given up any hope of winning that cup and the $15,000 that go with it. Deadline comes for the final weigh-in. Tommy Martin's great catch gives him a total of 33 pounds, 1 ounce, and he wins the tournament.
I think this will look very good in the branch of your local bank. A check for $15,000, Tommy. Maybe we should turn that over to Dima?
Bill, let me ask you this. You know, it's a funny thing is that you and most of our really great fishermen never seem to be able to win the Classic in 4 years. What do you think the reason is that? Why is that?
I can't give you an answer for it, but I do know this, that every fisherman here is capable of winning. A man, if he's a good angler, can catch a great many bass. But if he's really civilized, he's going to be that rare thing, an unpreying predator. He's going to release the bulk of his catch, which makes his angling a game of skill that preserves rather than destroys or diminishes the source of his pleasure.
Pretty great history. So I just take a minute and say thanks again to everybody here, vendors, Jay Sanders, everybody. Everybody that bought a ticket and supporting this, and from our company, we chipped in all the Miller Lite beer you can drink, and we're proud that we're just going to sponsor tonight's dinner and be proud to do it. And right now, I I'd like to invite up here some special friends. We just saw Bill in this movie. Him and Diane and Pamela drove up here today from Memphis. Would you kids come up here just a minute? So at the bottom of this slide, we had a special fire marshal warning for what's about to happen. We just heard that next week is Bill's birthday. So we got a birthday cake. So how many candles can you put on that cake without the fire marshal getting in trouble? So some of these are just abbreviated. We had a couple of special cakes, so we're talking about Girls Let You Go. I got my wife here, Jeannie, and she's going to bring out a cake. And then we got another cake. And 2 special cakes for a special guy. And Diana, can you see that? It says, "Happy birthday, Bill, but we love you, Diane." So here we go, everybody. How about we sing? What are we going to do? Where's a cute girl that's popping out of this cake? Is it Miss America? What are we going to do, Angelfish? Okay, you going to start us? What song are we going to sing? Day to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Bill, happy birthday. I had to take Bill this can't take it.
Let's hear it for Johnny Morris and Mr. Bill Dance. One more time, happy birthday, Bill Dance, 83 years old next week. We have a straight-up extravaganza happening now, ladies and gentlemen. I knew tonight was going to be special. I thought it would be the folks from Jersey that would make this crazy, but we have children jumping out of cakes. Johnny, next year, can we get a little person shot out of a cannon? Is it possible? Let's make this event something special. Sir Isaac Newton once said, "If I've seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." If you ask me, that perfectly explains the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame. That perfectly explains this room and this celebration that we have here tonight. Not just of this year's inductees, but of all the inductees. And if you look this year, we now have banners for all of them. I think that's one of the coolest additions that the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame has done. And that is add that just because it reminds you of the classes. And you look through that, you look at all the names, the who's who of this sport. And it truly is on their shoulders that this sport has grown. And today we want to recognize, of course, 3 inductees and all the Hall of Famers and all of the people that have made this sport what it is. And all of our Hall of Famers that are in the house here today have their blue jackets on. I'd like to recognize them right now. If they can all stand and be recognized. It's not just the Hall of Famers, but maybe the group of people that the Hall of Famers should clap the most for, and that is our selection panel. I'd like to ask them all to stand and get recognized right now, ladies and gentlemen. 3 people, it turns out, choose these. Three of you stood. A group that gets not enough credit. This event, and it is amazing what is put together here. You look at once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, some of these silent auction items, live auction, everybody that works together, but it is the board of directors, and I'd like them to all be recognized right now. If our board of directors can please stand up and get recognized. Now, everyone has to participate in this, so if you have not stood yet, everybody else stand up right now and give them a round of applause because you guys care enough about this sport to come here this evening and celebrate the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame. Without further ado, I'd like to bring up the president of the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame, John Mazurkiewicz.
Thank you, everybody. One of my jobs as the president of the board is I'm trying to keep everything on time, so I'm going to keep this nice and short. I know everybody's hungry. I know I am. So I'd like to bring up Steve Bowman. Not only is he a 2020 Bass Fishing Hall of Fame inductee, he's a very good friend of mine, and he is also on our board of directors. So Steve Bowman with our invocation for the evening. After Steve gets done, dinner will be served. Once that all is finished, we'll get Mercer back up here to have some more laughs. Thank you.
Mercer, I thought you were taller. So I'm up here to give the invocation, but before I do that, I'm going to say a few words, and I'm going to play a video myself. And one of the things that I look around this room, and I see all these blue jackets, and what makes us special, what makes us live, what makes us breathe, what makes us think and have a passion for fishing is the stories we tell. You know, Glenn Andrews has 92 years of fishing stories. And there's not a blue jacket in this room that wouldn't sit here and listen to him tell as many of those as he could recall. Stories are very important to us. The first fishing stories were painted on a cave wall. And then meanwhile, we have magazines going out of business, but fishing magazines are not, because people want to hear fishing stories. So in the last year, there's another blue jacket in here, and Tommy Sanders is that. He and I, Bassmaster, J.M., even Ben Oliver, who's here with the Ike and Ellie family. There's Ben sneaking over there. We've been working on a very specific project at the behest of Chase Anderson and Bassmaster to tell our life story. And this will culminate into a docu-series of events that will start airing in 2024. But for the first time ever, publicly anyway, we are going to give you a little taste of what's to come. So if you would, turn your attention to the screen.
What would make people of all ages, from all corners of the world, converge on an event to watch grown men do this? Rock concert? Wrong. This is professional bass fishing. Passion, conflict, champions, cheaters, and bank beaters. Inside the evolution of an industry built on the back of a tiny green fish known as a bass.
A long time ago, everybody thought fishing tournaments was rigged.
The 60s was everything happening at once. We had social unrest, but we also had a million possibilities. We were becoming a much more prosperous place, and now everything was ready to explode.
Ray Scott, 1967, he had the dream of holding a professional fishing tournament.
With big money, it was going to have strict rules and no monkey business.
Ray had a dream that became a reality.
He was such a promoter, such a character.
He said, I need somewhere to keep an elephant.
Over the top.
If Scott hadn't gone into fishing, he'd have probably become one of those television evangelists.
When you commit to do things, sober or drunk, then just make a habit of trying to do it.
Ray made the bass the star. He protected the star.
Because of pollution, many of the waters of our Commonwealth became dangerous.
We did a lot of work in lobbying in Washington, D.C.
He probably went to Washington 3 or 4 times a month. You know, he'd get doors slammed in his face and he'd keep going back.
We have passed new laws to protect the environment. A guy that sometimes let his mouth overload his ability for the moment.
Ray, we ain't supposed to be over there. Look up on top of that dam. Well, they got guns, and he says, you think they're gonna shoot us? Do you really think they're gonna kill us? And something goes, pow, pow.
Ray Scott, he fueled this whole industry.
The image of bass fishing from really the bush leagues to the big time.
Ray created a culture. He created a way of life in this country.
I think only in America could that happen.
All right. By the time you get to the end of that, you'll feel like you've heard the greatest fishing story ever told. Meanwhile, the man who created the greatest fishing story ever told, we're going to give praise and prayer to him. I'd like you to bow your heads and close your eyes. Our sincere prayer goes out to you, Lord, with praise for what you have created in this great country. A place where men and women of every age can see your face in nature and take part in gathering the beast and fowl of this earth for a feast that has you as its main guest. Let our focus be on you and the incredible talents you have given these men we honor. Let us not forget the blessings you have given to us for each, for getting to watch the culmination of the talent and passion that comes together tonight. We come to you in prayer this evening with a course of things we are grateful for and the things that you have provided. We thank you when we hear you in the wind rustling the leaves, in the singing and chirping of the birds and the lapping of water on the shore that creates a perfect symphony of your grace. We thank you for the privilege to hunt and fish and witness your perfect creation like no other, and for our wealth of blessings, including the tap and tug on a line from a green fish that travels through a fishing line and produces a tag, a tap, and a tug on our hearts. We thank you for the women and men in this room who have done so much with their passion for catching fish that it has created a sport like no other, and for the privilege of honoring their legacy tonight. We thank you for this opportunity to celebrate those things with family and friends, for the freedom to pray these words without fear in any language, in a faith that knows you sent your Son, Jesus Christ, to die for our sins in this great country whose landscape is as vast and beautiful as its inhabitants. We end this prayer, as we have in virtually every Hall of Fame banquet, with the prayer penned by Homer Circle, one of our illustrious inductees. It goes, God grant that I may fish until my dying day. And when at last I come to rest, I'll then most humbly pray. When in his landing net I lie in final sleep, that in his mercy I'll be judged as good enough to keep. Thank you, God, for all these things, but mostly for the grace and assurance through Christ that we are all good enough to keep. Thank you, Lord. Amen. Let's eat.
fine meal tonight. And it is that time to start our inductions. The reason that we're all here to celebrate so many amazing people about this sport. But before we celebrate the sport and before we celebrate these anglers, I think we need to celebrate the star of the show, and you heard it in that video. The bass. It's an amazing fish. I mean, thank God we don't fish for other fish. I mean, you were born a bass angler. And bass has, at a time when you can't turn on the news or read a newspaper to hear about division and people being divided for many reasons, bass don't care. It doesn't matter whether you're a kid from Philly that Lord knows where Iaconelli would have ended up without a bass. Thank God he went bass fishing. But all of us, it brings us together, and it truly is the reason that bonds us all together. And tonight is going to be a very special night for some special inductees. But we have special people that need to be recognized in the crowd before we even start that. And first person I'd like to recognize, I think he's been playing a lot of pickleball because he's recently retired. But he deserves a big round of applause, and I don't know any other way to introduce him than he is a 29-time tournament winner, an 8-time Angler of the Year, a 4-time Classic champion from Kalamazoo, Michigan, KVD, Kevin Van Dam. And now, totally going the opposite direction of Kevin, just months away from starting his 50th season competing at Bassmaster, ladies and gentlemen. 77 years old, turned there just a few months ago. Let's recognize just a few months away from his 50th season of competition. It's unheard of in any other competitive sport. The one and only Mr. Rick Clunn. It's amazing when you look around this room. I get to speak at a lot of functions throughout the year and a lot of tournaments. And this is the event that I'm most nervous to speak at. Because this is, I mean, you're surrounded. I mean, if everybody in this room, when you look around, I mean, I'm just willing to admit it. But we're all like, you look around, you look at the people that are here and the stories that have been built around this sport. And they're the reason. I mean, the reason that bass is so special, that fish is so special, is because it not only unites us, but it brings us back in time. At a time when people can't relax, I don't care what person you grab. You can grab the grumpiest lawyer or accountant in the world. Take them bass fishing, they will giggle like a 12-year-old child. It brings us back in time. And a guy who has told many, many of those stories. If I can get him up here real quick before we start our inductions, the one and only Mr. Bill Dance.
I've got about 30 seconds to say what I got to say. Thank you very much. Now, Bowman told me to make this quick. You know, it's like the Hemingway quote. It's not the amount of fish we catch, but it's the great people and friends we meet along the way. You know, back in the spring of 1967, Diane and I were on Pickwick Lake in a John boat and tracker fishing, and a boat pulled up, bass boat. There were 3 people in that boat. I recognized 2 of them and had never met Ray Scott personally, but one of them was a dear, dear friend of mine that I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today had I not met him. It was Glenn Andrews. Glenn asked the question to me. He said, "How many have you caught?" And I said, "Oh, 3 or 4. And he said, "How deep are you fishing?" Which is a key. And I said, 3 or 4 feet. And he said, 3 or 4 feet? You see that point right there? That's a creek channel point. And I said, "A what? What's a creek channel point?" He says, "Where the creek skirts in and turns out and turns back in." And I said, "To another point." He said, "Off that point, in about 19 to 20 feet of water, is a school of bass." And I said, growing up in Memphis fishing the Oxbow Lakes, if I caught a fish over 7 feet, it felt like I was fishing in the ocean. But Glenn said, yeah, they're out here. How heavy a six string are you fishing? I said, 3/16. He said, put a quarter on, or 3/8 on, and throw it out. So I threw it, and they had left just before he told me all that, so it was just Diane and I there, and we were supposed to meet her for breakfast about an hour later. So I took the lightweight off, put the heavier weight on, and I threw it. And I said 1,001, 1,002, 1,011, 1,015, 1,020, boop, it hit the bottom. I said, good night. And I moved it about a foot, and the fish went boom. And I set the hook, and I said, you're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. And I fought him up to the boat. He was about a 2-pound bass, the deepest I ever caught a fish. I could not believe it. And I said, Diane, do you see what I just did? And she said, what? You caught a fish? I said, no. I caught a fish in 20 feet of water. I can't believe that. I can't believe I caught a fish that deep. Do you hear what I'm telling you? She said, yeah. I threw back and I caught another one, made another cast, and I missed one. So there was school there. We had to leave. And from that point on, I knew Ray was going to have a big tournament in June of that year on Beaver Lake. And I knew Beaver Lake was a Highland-type reservoir, which was deep and clear. And I said to myself right then, I started getting excited, and I started getting didn't know which way to go. And I said to myself, you have got to change the way you fish. If you're going to start competing in these big tournaments, you've got to change the way you fish. You've got to learn to fish deep water. Well, I had met Glenn a year or two before at a Memphis boat show, and I was quite impressed because these world champion trophies up there. And so I called Glenn and I said, Glenn, I fish Pickwick Lake all the time. What's the first thing I need to do? He said, get you a topo map. I said, what's a topo map? He just went through question after question. He taught me so much about deep water fishing. And my success in those early days was fishing deep water. It was in the late 60s, right before that first tournament. Well, when I went to Beaver, I called Glenn, and he said, think positive. He said, just because you see a tree line coming into the water, it doesn't stop there. If you see a road bed coming in, don't stop there. So I scouted around and looked, and I found 7 places that day that had fish on it, and they were all in about 17 to 20 feet of water. Well, I led that tournament the first 2 days, and a good friend, Stan Sloan, won it the third day. But I continued to fish the way Glenn was teaching me to fish. And I have met many, many fishermen in my life, but I have never, ever met a fisherman that was a better fisherman than Glenn Andrews. And if Roland's here, I hadn't seen him, or if Jimmy's here, many of these older fishermen, like myself, would tell you the same thing. That man is the best that ever wet a hook. And we are so, so proud to induct him into the Hall of Fame. He should have been there years and years ago. But he's a wonderful friend, a great teacher, and like I say, I wouldn't be here without him. So, Dave, take it over. That's you. I'm gonna shake your hand.
Our first inductee.
Glenn Andrews has been called the best bass angler to ever live, from the likes of Bass Fishing Hall of Famers Bill Dance, Bobby Murray, Jerry McInnes, and Ray Scott. After multiple wins in the first national fishing contest, long before BASS even started, Andrews was instrumental in endorsing Scott's 1967 All-American Tournament. Without his support, the forerunner to today's professional bass tournaments wouldn't have even got off the ground. As rules chairman, Andrews forged the rules and practices that all tournament anglers live by today. 2023 Bass Fishing Hall of Fame inductee, Glenn Andrews.
You didn't really expect me to follow that. I just got one thing to start off with here. This has got to be some heck of a big extravaganza since it only comes around every 92 years. Where is Steve sitting at? Bowman. Steve Bowman, where are you? Over there. I was just kidding. Your timing was absolutely perfect. As you can see, and everybody else here, that I'm just now coming into my prime. You know, if you got dementia like I have, you wouldn't get caught without a note. It'll jump up anytime you don't expect it. You can't remember a name or nothing else. But I'm supposed to have all these thank yous written down here. If I get this thing apart, I don't know what's more of that. Okay, we'll try it up here. Oh, there we go. Now, I don't have a real big vocabulary, so let me just say up front, my thank yous are the most sincere that I can have, and every single one of them comes from the bottom of my heart. And for start off with, I got to say a big thank you, first of all, with Steve and Barbara Bowman for their spearheading the campaign that got me up here. Thank you very kindly. I'd like to say just something for Jerry McInnes Association, Mike McInnes, Jerry McInnes' son. Jerry McInnes was one of my best friends. I'm so sorry. I'm going to miss him forever now. But anyway, thank you very kindly, Mike, for the documentary that you've been working so hard on. It's going to come out pretty soon. It's supposed to have a whole bunch of junk about me in there. Okay? Next, I got to say thank you to Gary Mason. Is Gary Mason, I think I've seen him since I've been here. Is he in here? He's supposed to have been here, I thought. Anyway, he was the first one that kind of recognized that maybe I had a story that should be kept. And with him and my son Shane, they campaigned a little bit, and Shane hauled me over to Nashville, Tennessee, and I was inducted to the Legends of Outdoor Hall of Fame. And I appreciate that, Gary. Bill Dance, I sure thank you for being such a promising student. I'll get back to you later, Bill. Bill and Emily Marshall, my good friends. Bill works for KWTO, Channel 3 in Springfield. He's, I guess, #1 advertising agent. They've agreed to host Shane and I tonight, and we sure appreciate that. And now I have a friend that didn't make it tonight, so I'll just go ahead and pass on him. And I'm sure sorry. He lost his wife about a month or so ago, and he's just not doing well at all. But I was going to say thank you for Shane Andrews, my son, Jerry Miller, for writing An Impossible Cast, the story of the inception of pro bass fishing history and my importance of that. I always wanted to see bass fishing move on to the level of golf. And when Johnny Morris had a tournament last year, I sat in the stands way up on the bleachers, and I watched two guys down there, the very last two that weighed in, standing there, each one of them holding a check this long, and it said $500,000 on it. That's just beyond my imagination. That's quite a adventure, Johnny Morris, and I appreciate that very much. I thought my dream had come true. So the only way that's going to happen, you got to have some more of them. But most of all, and the most important, and the last thing I'll say thank you for, is that young lady sitting right there with the red jacket and black coat. Ann, can you stand up? I didn't think you would. But I want to thank you, Ann, from the bottom of my heart, for tolerating me and my multiple personalities for 66 years. 66 years, can you believe that? A woman could put up with a man that long? That's impossible to believe. Now, I know that my 5 minutes has probably long been up. I'd give anything just stand up here and tell stories and swap lives with you for the next 30 minutes, but I can't do that. I may not know as many good stories as Bill Dance, but some of mine are true. If you'll forgive me for that, Bill, I'll say thank you for that 30 minutes that you stood on or sat on a Zoom camera and spent 30 minutes a couple, 3 months ago to tell me that I had been inducted, or I was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. I thank you. I thank each and every one of you for coming today. God bless you. Where's my stick? Oh.
You gotta get a picture with your plaque. Wait, don't. Let's hear it for him, ladies and gentlemen. Joining him on stage for the plaque presentation, fellow Hall of Famer Steve Bowman. Where is Steve Bowman?
What are we going to do?
This is an awkward, Bowman, run. Everybody watch Bowman run. Nothing more uncomfortable than running in front of a room full of people. I mean, you had one job, Bowman, one job. I'm sorry. Glenn?
Holy mackerel.
I'm gonna carry this down because I don't want you to trip and fall with it because it's heavy. But I love you, and I'll carry you down if you want to hold it.
Okay,
Which one do you want to do? You want to hold it?
I'll hold it. Oh, it's too heavy. I'm in my mind.
Here, look at that guy with the camera.
Are we going down that?
Don't worry, Mr. Andrews. Bowman made it way more uncomfortable. Our next inductee, unfortunately, is not here with us. He's very, very missed, but his impact will go on for generations. Our next inductee.
So many aspects of the bass fishing industry have seen successes over the years due to business influencers like Bruce Holt. During a 34-year career with G. Loomis, Holt built the brand to one of the world's most highly respected rod makers. Holt played a pivotal role by aligning pros with G. Loomis as the brand expanded into the bass market. He held numerous positions in marketing, sales, and media communications while gaining respect as a leader in the tackle industry. Holt further gave back to the industry by serving on the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame Board of Directors for over 10 plus years. Also as Vice President during major decisions about the Hall's future. 2023 Bass Fishing Hall of Fame inductee, Bruce Holt.
Representing Bruce, Bruce's brother, Ryan Holt.
Well, I guess you all know I'm Bruce's brother. That wasn't easy growing up. He was a hard act to follow. I get the privilege of accepting this award for Bruce. But first I want to thank a few people for coming, because our family came all the way out here from Florida and Washington and Idaho. So Jean Mannanen, his partner for 25 years, and her granddaughter Avery is here tonight. All Bruce's kids, Jason, his daughter Megan, Rob, his wife Stephanie, Cammie, his daughter, and Keith, her husband, my wife, my nephew Eric, and our really good friends, Reno Pelletier and his wife Randy, and Reno was Bruce's best friend, and he wouldn't miss it. So I really want to thank all of them coming all this way for Bruce. Bruce would be humbled, thrilled, and mostly surprised to receive this honor. He gave his life to fishing and all it represents, but he would never, in his wildest dreams, believe that he would be inducted here with all the people he idolized and admired. I want to thank the Hall of Fame Board for hosting such a wonderful event. It has been a great event for our family, and it's just more than we imagined. It's been really a special day, and the event last night was really fun, having the tailgate party and meeting some of these famous people. I'd like to tell a few stories about Bruce. When Bruce was young, all he wanted to do was fish, just like all you people. He was probably in his 20s, and he was supposed to be working, but he called in sick, and he went fishing, and of course, Bruce was a pretty good fisherman, so he caught a bunch of fish, and he kept them back then. So he had a big stringer, and he took pictures, and local paper got wind of it, and they went and got the pictures, put them in the newspaper. Of course, his boss saw the pictures and fired him. And my dad, our dad, who was this very, very hardworking, serious kind of person about that, said, Bruce, you got it backwards. You're supposed to work and then go fishing, not the other way around. Well, Bruce fooled all of us, and he made a living out of his passion, selling photographs, writing articles, selling and marketing fishing rods. All the people in this room, those inducted here at the Hall of Fame, were his heroes. His first success in fishing world was writing articles and sending photos to small publishers. He had multiple articles and photographs in bass publications, and then he went to work for G. Loomis, and the career began. Bruce loved working at G. Loomis. He was truly committed to marketing and selling that brand. One time in an airport, Bruce and I are on our way to fish somewhere, and Bruce and I overheard a guy tell his friend, "You see that guy over there? He's G. Loomis. I don't know if he owns it or runs it, but he's the face I see." And that's what I think of when I think of G. Loomis. Bruce loved all types of fishing. He got to fish all over the world. Peacock bass in Brazil, tarpon and snook in Florida, largemouth bass in Mexico, salmon in Alaska. He and Gary Loomis were two of the first people allowed in Russia when they opened the borders. They flew in big helicopters, put up big camps, and got to fish and catch fish that I've never even heard of. I don't even know what they are. It was cool, though. They even fished like with coffee cans and string, and just like the old Russians. He used to tell that story all the time. But what he loved to do most was catch smallmouth. And he'd come home to Idaho, and he'd come 3-4 times a year, and he and I'd go fishing. And most of the time, we just fished daylight to dark like all you guys. But one night, he would say, my wife would cook us dinner, and she'd say, "What time are you guys going to be home?" Bruce would say, "Oh, we'll be home by 7. Have dinner ready. We won't be late." Right. So after catching 100 bass or more all day long, I'd say to Bruce, "Hey, Bruce, we're going to be late." He'd say, "Oh, she'll forgive us." I'd say, "Bruce, how many of these things you want to catch? You've caught like 100 already." He'd say, "Well, we got to finish out these 4 points. We can't just stop now." I said, "Oh my God, you're like a 12-year-old kid. Like you never caught a bass before. You fished all over the world." And that's who he was. And I'm sure all the guys here, inducted here, are just like him. But we didn't know anybody like him. He was, we thought, obsessed with catching bass. Bruce was also a great storyteller. One of the stories I always remember, when I was pretty young, I went out, we were fishing somewhere, I'm not sure where, and I said to Bruce, "Hey, do you think it hurts when you catch a bass? Like when you hook them, when you slam the hook set on them, and you think it really hurts?" He said, "Here's what I think it's like. We're all sitting here at the Hall of Fame banquet, eating our dinner, and you take a bite out of your mashed potatoes and somebody yanks you through the roof of your house. That's what I think it's like. Our entire family would like to thank everyone for coming out tonight, and special thanks to those responsible for awarding Bruce this honor. Congratulations to Mr. Andrews, Mr. Iaconelli, for their wonderful contributions to this sport. Your accomplishments speak for themselves. I'm glad, I fish tournaments too, and so I'm glad you started this whole thing, Mr. Andrews, because it's a pretty special thing to do. I'm sure I speak for all of us when I say, I wish Bruce were here to accept this. But that's not possible. When he passed away, we all lost an ambassador to the fishing industry, a Hall of Famer. But to me, he was more than that. He was my fishing partner, my best friend. And most of all, he was my big brother, my hero. And our family is so thankful that he is inducted here and that his name is now enshrined here with the people he admired most in the world. On behalf of our family, thank you for this incredible honor. I'm sorry.
Joining Ryan on stage with our plaque presentation is John Mazurkowitz. Thank you very much, Ryan. We know that was incredibly hard, but I think we can all say you did Bruce proud here tonight.
So, folks, for the Holt family, and I knew Bruce very well, so absolutely exceptional. I enjoy that so much. I just want to make an announcement. G. Loomis and its parents company, Shimano, on behalf of Bruce, has made a substantial donation to the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame to support our scholarship programs, our youth initiatives, and our conservation programs. And when Bruce was on the board, he was the one guy that was pushing a lot of that. So I want to thank the G. Loomis and the Shimano folks that are in the back of the room. A great honor in Bruce's name. So thank you very much.
We have one more inductee this evening, and a whole bunch of people that traveled from Jersey, Philly, and I'm pretty excited about this. And it only makes it fitting that a guy who has literally been the king of the about to announce something and his feed breaks up, that we just break this whole ceremony up and start with our live auction. So Iaconelli, you'll have to wait a little longer. We have live auctions, and for those who's been to one of these evenings before, Bass Fishing Hall of Fame's evening, let's hear it from you. Yeah, doesn't seem like a lot of people come back. Well, we do live auctions, and we have some very, very special items, once-in-a-lifetime items that you can bid on here tonight. And we have two people that helped us out last year, and we found out that Davey Height and Kevin Van Dam are incredible anglers, but horrible auctioneers, ladies and gentlemen. So the good news is they're basically going to be our Vanna White here today, and they're going to prod you guys into spending more money. But we have a real-life auctioneer here with us this week helping us out, and we'd like to welcome him right now, Bo Dotley.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dave. Hey, Kevin, don't mess this up.
You know the words I told you before.
What's that?
It wasn't "don't mess this up." There was a different adjective.
It's true. That's true. That's true. That's right. And where's Mike?
And
Where's
by the way,
Iaconelli at?
thank
Where's
you
Ike
for
at?
taking over for us because Davey and I did.
There he is, right there.
We're not good at this.
Well, you're going to get better though.
Yep.
You're going to learn. They tell me why they made you wait to the last.
Well, another thing everybody's got to remember right now, too, is the silent auction items. It's getting close to the end, so you be checking your phones, checking where your bids are at on that stuff, too, because that's coming down to the wire here, too. A lot of cool items up on the silent auction.
That's right. That's right. I'm going to take this off, even though I probably shouldn't. That's right. I need to. That's right. Can you hold this for me?
Sure, love to.
Thank you very much. All right. So, Mike, they did tell me why you are. They're waiting until last. It's because you cussed the dog out. But he apologized. He did apologize. So it's all good. It's all good. So, what's our first item there, Dave?
License plate bass, we're going to start with that. Where do we start? How do we do this? I mean, we're not good at this. That's why we invited you.
Well, here's the good part about it. That's right. We will even, after this one is over with, after the live auction's over with, whoever the winning bidder of these two next pieces are, all the Hall of Fame members will come up and sign it and personalize it for you. So keep that in mind as we sell this bass license plate. This is the Hall of Fame license plate right here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, put that thing in the money. What do you give here now? 25, got 25. Now 50 but a 50, 50 but a 50, 50. Now 100 but 100, 100 but 100, 100 but 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100 but 100, 100 but 100, 100 but 100, 100 now 150, 150 now 100 and a half, 100 and a half now 175, now 200 but a 200, 200 now 2 and a quarter, quarter over to 2 and a quarter. Able to buy but 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter over to 2 and a quarter. You're out right here, 2 and a quarter over to 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter over to 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter over to 2 and a quarter. What do you give 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter now 2 and a half, now 275, 275 now 300, 300 now 3 and a quarter. What do you give 3 and a quarter, quarter over to 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter over to 3 and a quarter. What do you give 3 and a quarter, quarter over to 3 and a quarter? You able to buy them at 3 and a quarter over to 3 and a quarter. You're out right here in the white shirt, 3 and a quarter over to 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter over to 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter now 3 and a half, now 375, now 400 over to 400. What do you give 400 over to 400? 400 hands high now 400 over to 400. What do you give 400? 400 over to 400. 400 now 4 and a quarter over to 4 and a quarter. 4 and a quarter over here, 4 and a quarter over to 4 and a quarter. 4 and a quarter now 4 and a half, half over to 450. You able to buy them at 450, get them on 450, 450 over to 450. What do you give 450? 450 now 475. What do you give 475? It's $25 more. 475 now 500 over to 500. What do you give 500? 500. 500 now 5 and a quarter over to 5 and a quarter. 5 and a quarter over to 5 and a quarter. You're all out back there. I'm in down here. 5 and a quarter over to 5 and a quarter. What do you give 5 and a quarter over to 5 and a quarter? 5 and a quarter. 5 and a quarter now 5 and a half, half over to 550. You able to buy them at 550, get them on 550. 550 over to 550. You're out down here. 550 over to 550. 550 over to 550. It's $25 more. 550. Now 575. 575 now 600. You're all out. 600 over to 600. 600 over to 600 now 6 and a quarter. What do you give 6 and a quarter? 6 and a quarter. 6 and a quarter. 6 and a quarter now 6 and a half. 6 and a half, half over to 650. 650. 650 now 675. What do you get 675? You will never find another one like
cool.
it. 675 over to 675. 675 over to 675. 675. 670. Look at me. Don't look at him. Look at me, don't look at him. 675 over to 675. What do you give 675? 675. One more time, 675. 675, now 700. Now 7 and a quarter. 7 and a quarter. Now 7 and a half. You're both out. 7 and a half, half. 750 to 750. What do you give 750 to 750? 750 to 750. You're both out. 750 to 750. 750, what do you give 750? 750, now 775. What do you give 775 back in the back? 775, now 800. What do you give 800? 800 but 800. You able to buy them at 800? 800 but 800. 800 but 800. Either one, 800, now 8 and a quarter. 8 and a quarter, but 8 and a quarter. 8 and a quarter, now 8 and a half. 8 and a half, now 875. What do you give 875? 875, now 900. 900 but a 900. What do you give 900? 900 but a 900. 900, now 9 and a quarter. 9 and a quarter, quarter but a 9 and a quarter. What do you give 9 and a quarter? You able to buy 9 and a quarter? What do you say, $1,000?
1,000.
1,000, now 1,050. 1,050 to 1,050. 1,050, now 1,100. What do you give 1,100? 1,100 but 1,100. You able to buy 1,100? 1,100 but 1,100. 1,100, 11. Now 1,200. 1,200 but 1,200. How much? 2,500? Huh? 1,500, now 16. What do you give 1,600? What is 1,600? 1,600, what is 1,600? He just outdid you. 1,600, what is 1,600? 1,600, don't look at her. No. Hey, let me ask you a question. Have you mowed the yard this year? You don't have to ask her permission for anything. 1,600, now 17, what do you give 1,700? 1,700, what is 1,700? 17, now 1,800. 1,800, what 1,800? 1,800, and I don't have to sleep on your couch tonight. 1,800, what 1,800? 1,800, what 1,800? What do you give 1,800? 1,800, what 1,800? 1,800 all done. 1,800, you're about to lose your chance. 1,800, what 1,800? What do you give 1,800? His wife will be more proud of him. 1,800, what 1,800? 1,800 all done. All done, all done. Sold it, $1,700 right there.
That's all we were asking Davey and Kevin to do. I don't know why that was so difficult.
And
I love
boys,
it.
that's how it's done right there.
That's
A lot
right.
better.
That's
A lot
right.
better than
All right,
us.
guys and girls. The next one is Alabama, right?
Alabama.
How many Alabama folks we got in here? Ooh. I sense some bitterness.
That did not
Of
work
course,
well.
this year's not started off real well, has it?
No,
I guess it-
but
I know another
I mean,
one on the other side
Alabama
of the
is the
room, too.
birth
That's
state
right.
of Bassmaster. It is the home of MLF. I believe those two companies alone should. Who wouldn't want to hang this into your home
That's
office?
right. That's right. And hey, Van Dam's date of birth is on there, 1926.
Duck it.
That's
Aren't you a
right.
big Alabama guy?
That's right. Alabama
It's
guy.
all Alabama.
All right, hands high. What do we get here now? $100, $100, $100, $100, $100, $100, now 200, 2, now 300, 3, now 4, 400, 400, now 5, 5, now 600, 6, now 700, 700, 700, 700, 700. What do you give 700, 700, now 800, 800. What do you give 800, 800, 800, 800. I got 700 over here, now 800, you're all out over here. $800 bill at 800. What do you give 800, 800, 800. Give it a at 8, get them on 800, 800, 8, now 9, now $1,000 bill back there. $1,000 bill at 1,000. Hey, don't look at her again. $1,000, $1,000, now 1,100, 11, now 1,200 to 1,200. What do you give 12, 12, 12 to 1,200? $1,200 to 1,200. 1,200, 1,200 to 1,200. That is the one after 11. 1,200 to 1,200. 12, I got 1,500, now 16. 16, now 1,700 to 1,700. 1,700 to 1,700. You able to buy them at 1,700? 1,700 to 1,700. You already in? I'll take it again, though. 1,700 over to 1,700. 17 now 18. What do you give 1,800 over to 1,800? 18 now 19 back there in the back. 19 now $2,000 over 2,000. 2 now 21. What do you give 21? 2,100 over 2,100. 2,100, 2,100. Kevin, leave him alone. 2,100 over to 2,100. You able to buy them at 2,100? 2,100 over to 2,100. 2,100 out back there. 2,100, 2,100, 2,100. What do you give 2,100? 2,100. 21 now 22. 2,200. 22 now 23. See, you lost your place. 23. 23 now 24. 24 now 2,500 over 2,500. 2,500 over 2,500. You able to buy them at 2,500, boy? 2,500 over 25. 25 now 2,600 over 2,600. 2,600 over 26. 26 now 2,700. What do you give 27 now 2,800 over 2,800? What do you give 28 now 29? What do you give 29? 29, don't duck it. 29 over 29. 29 now 3,000. You're both out. 3,000 over 3,000. What do you give 3,000? 3 now 31. You're both out. 32, 31, 31. What do you give 31? 3,100 over 3,100. You able to buy them at 3,100? 3,100 now 3,200. 32. What do you give 32? 32 now 33, Boyd. 33 over to 33. What do you give 33? You able to buy them at 33? Get them on 33. 33 now 3,400. What do you give 3,400? 34 now 35. What do you give 3,500? He's giving you a run for your money. 3,500 over 3,500. 3,500 over 3,500. You're an ounce behind. 35. What? How much? 3,500. 5,000. 5,000 now 5,100. What do you give 50? The gauntlet was like thrown down. 5,100 over 5,100. 51. 55 now 56. You able to buy me at 56? What do you give 56? He's like, dang it, that didn't work. 5,600, but a 6,600. 5,600, what do you 5,600? 5,600. 6,000, now 61. 61 over to 61. 61 over to 61. You can beat Board Duckett tonight. You can. Hey, I guarantee you he will give you a fishing rod if you lose. 6,200 over to 6,200. 6,200 over to 6,200. 6,200. 62 now 63. What do you give 63? 63 over to 6,300. 63 now 64. You able to buy them at 6,400? 6,400 over to 6,400. They're all going to sign it too. 64 now 6,500 over to 6,500. What do you give 6,500? 65. What do you give 65? You able to buy them at 65? 65. Are you quitting?
You wade into
65?
Sweet Home Alabama every damn time, Boyd. How can you?
All right. I have a deal for y'all. Boyd, are you listening to this? All right. You listen? Are you from Alabama? Both of you are from Alabama? I know this is hard for y'all to understand being from Alabama, so I'll speak slowly. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. What we're going to do, if y'all will agree on the same price that we are right now, which is $6,500, we'll have you another one made. Will y'all both do that?
We get matching. We get a matching pair.
Matching pair.
I'm
See,
in.
you had to talk slow.
I'm in.
Boyd's a little quicker on the take. I will give him that.
Boyd's in.
Boyd's in. Are you in? 6,500? Sold it. 6,500 both ways. Thank you all very much.
Who says tournament organizations can't get along? Look at that. Our next item is something that Kevin can talk to specifically, I believe. It is a lot of experiences we have here, and this next one is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It is a big bass trip with Steve Parks. Kevin, tell us about that.
So this trip was given to us by Steve Parks, who is the guy who originated the Strike King Rage Tail series of soft plastics. He's a big bass specialist. He's fished all over the world, but he's got a place, a really awesome ranch down in Texas. And, that's what he does is target big bass. So you get to go to his ranch, stay at his ranch, and fish at O.H. Ivy, which is arguably one of the greatest big bass fisheries right now. If you've been looking at social media, you see a lot of fish over 13 pounds coming out of there, 16, 17 pounds, things like that. So it's basically the value of this is priceless. And he's a character. Steve's a great guy to fish with, knows it really well, and it's going to be an awesome trip. So.
And you're paying for their license?
I'll pay for the license.
I'm joking. Hey,
whatever I got.
he said it. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you this: it's so nice to have a professional up there. I learned my lesson last year. So I'll buy the fishing license just because I learned my lesson about auction.
All right, who wants to catch a big old Texas bass? All right, guys and girls, put it in the money. But give here now $1,000, but $1,000. You would buy me $1,000, get me $1,000. $1,000, but $1,000. 500 now, 600, but 600. You would buy me 600, but 600. 600, but 600. You would buy me 600, but 600. 600, but 600. You would buy me 600, but 600. 600. You said yes right here. 600, but 600. What do you give 600, but 600? 600, but 600. 600, but 600. You would buy me 600. I got 500 now. 600, but 600. 600. 6 now. 700, but 700. 700, but 700. What do you give 700, but 700? I'm 600 here now. 700. 700, but 700.
I would be 700. 700,
but
if you don't
hands
catch
high
a
now.
10-pound
700.
bass.
What do you give?
So
700.
if you pick
700.
your time
Y'all
with
clearly
Steve
are not
Parks,
listening to OH.
You're
I'm
going to
sorry.
catch a giant bass. It's going to be the trip of a lifetime. It's a really special place. Steve knows what he's doing. And again, you pick the time. He's got a great ranch there. He's going to really host you there, and you got a chance to catch. It's hard to catch a 10-pound fish in this day and age, and this is a place where it happens daily. So it's a really special trip.
600, I got 600 now, 7. What do you give 700? Get around about 7. I got 7 now, 800, but 800. Give it 8 now, 900, but 900. 900, but 900. 900, but 900. What do you give 900? Y'all out over here, 900. What do you give 900, but 900? 900, but 900. I'm 800 over here now, 900. 900, 900 now, $1,000, but 1,000. What do you give 1,000, but 1,000? 1,000, but 1,000. 1,000, but 1,000. Get around about 1,000. You're out. $1,000 bill. $1,000, but 1,000. Now 1,000, now 1,100. What do you give 1,100? 1,100, but 1,100. 11 now, 1,200, but 1,200. Give it to 1,200. 1,200, but 1,200. 1,200, but 1,200, quitter. 1,200, but 1,200. 1,200, but 1,200. What do you give 12? 1,200, but 12. Give it about 1,200. 1,200, but 1,200. 12. Now 1,300, but 1,300. 1,300 back here. 1,300, but 1,300. What do you give 1,300? You're both out. 1,300, 1,300. What do you give 1,300? You get about 13. What do you give 13? 13, but 13. 13, 1,300. 1,300 all done. 1,300 all done. All done, all done. O.H. Ivy.
That's a bargain.
13, now 14. 14, here you go, 14. You can throw your hand up again, 1,400, but a 1,400. It's free, 1,400, but a 1,400. 14, now 15. What do you give 1,500, but a 1,500? 1,500, but a 15. 15, now 1,600. 16, but a 16. Give it about 16. 1,600, but a 1,600. 1,600, what do you give 1,600? 1,600, but a 1,600. 1,600, sir. 1,600, sir, you're out. 1,600. 1,600. 16, now 17. 1,700, but a 1,700. What do you give 1,700? You're out over here, 1,700. 1,700, but a 1,700. Give it about 17, get them on 1,700. 17, now 1,800. 18, but 1,800. 1,800, where do you give 1,800? 1,800, over here. 1,800, 1,800, 1,800, 18. He's asking permission. Look at that. 1,800, but 1,800. Hey, did you pick up his underwear this year? You didn't? I wouldn't pick them up either.
Do you want to read the description?
1,800. I got 17 back here now, 1,800. 1,800 all done. 1,800. One more time. Sold it, $1,700 back there. Stand up and show them where you're at, right there.
That's a heck of a deal on a great trip.
Do what?
Heck of a deal on a great trip.
An incredible trip. Thank you for everybody's support. And we have some more incredible experiences. And we have the person that you're actually going to go with is right here in the crowd, and I'd like to welcome him right here. The one and only Shaw Grigsby. Let's get him up here because you're going to get a chance to bid. No, you're not going bass fishing. He's going to take you on a gator hunt, ladies and gentlemen.
This guy is a blast to be on the water with doing anything. And this is a very unique trip, very different than bass fishing.
Yeah, well, this is what I do, man. This is like a treat, a real treat as we go out there, and we're actually going to fish for gators. So you're going to I take this big Lew's rod with a 80-pound braid, and you're going to cast out there, and you're going to hook a gator, and they can be anywhere from, 7 feet all the way to 11 or 12 feet long. And you're going to hook this thing, and you're going to fight him like you'd fight a tarpon or some giant fish, and you're just going to have a blast. And then we get him up beside the boat, and I can tell you my Triton has all kinds of bite marks in the side of it where these gators have been eating my boat. You're just going to have a fun time. So we're going to draw a tag. We're going to go out there and go catch a gator, and we're going to harvest this thing, and you can take home a bunch of meat and eat it and have a good time. So that's what the trip is, with me taking you gator hunting.
All right, the one and only Shaw Grigsby. Who wants to go on a gator hunt? All right, guys and girls, what do you give here now? 500, but a 500. 5, now 600, but a 600. 6, now 700, you're out. 700, 700, 7, now 800. 8, now 9, but a 9. Give it a moment, 900, you're both out. 900, 900. What do you give 900, 900, but a 900? 900, but a 900. 900, but a 900. What do you give 9, 9, but a 900? Give it a moment, 900. I got 800 back here now, 900. 900, all the way over to 900. It's gators. Who hates the Florida Gators? Come on, you can hook him. 900, but a 900. What do you give 900, but a 900? 900, 900. See, look at this. 900, 900. 900, 900. What do you give 900? Anybody from Florida State in here? You can bring your hatchet. 900, 900. What do you give 900? I got 800 down here now. 900. 900, but a 900. Give it about 900. Gator hunting. 900. 900 now. $1,000 bit with 1,000. What do you give 1,000? 1,000 now. 1,100. 1,100. 1,100. 1,100. She makes her own money, don't she? 1,100 with 1,100. Give it about 1,100. 1,100. 1,100. Yep, 2,000?
2,000 right
2,000 now, 2,100. 2,100, you're both out. 2,100 back there, 2,100. What do you give 2,100, ma'am? You're out, 2,100. What do you give 2,100? 2,100, but a 2,100. Give it about 2,100, 2,100, 2,100 back here, 2,100, 2,100 all done, 2,100, 2,100. It's with Shaw Grigsby. 2,100. Hey, are you bringing drinks and like honey buns and stuff too?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We'll have at least some pecan twirls there.
Pecan twirls. You know, you put those up on the dash of the boat and let the sun shine on them. Oh, they get soft and nice. 2,100, but a 2,100. Pecan swirls with Shaw Grigsby. Shaw Grigsby, who'd have thought that? 2,100, but 2,100. 2,100, what do you have? 2,100. 2,100. 2,100 all done. 2,100. One more time. Gator hunting with Shaw Grigsby. 2,100. 2,100. 2,100 all done. All done. All done. Sold it. $2,000 back there.
Good job. You go gator hunting.
Wow. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Johnny Morris, first of all, I know we're in his house and everything, but the news that he's already shared with us, the news of people literally having to walk through the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame, I don't think, if you really think of just how much that changes the sport. Well, Johnny Morris continues to give. He just said that the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame, tonight's dinner will be covered, which is a $50,000 donation, ladies and gentlemen.
That's incredible.
Next, we need to get David Fritz up to the stage for this next item. We've got a truly one-of-a-kind, custom handmade lamp that David built himself. So this is a lamp that he made out of a BB1, a Lew's BB1 reel, 1980s vintage, with one of his signature Browning Lew's Silaflex rods. Made this lamp out of it. He designed that in the late 80s. It's got the original Stren cranking line on it. It's got one of the Poe's crankbaits from his 1993 classic winning tackle box on it. He harvested the wood for the base off a walnut stump on his own land. He did all the work himself. I'll let him tell you more about it, but it's a truly special work of art with a ton of history built into it. So just a very unique, one-of-a-kind item that we had to put on the live auction because it's just that special.
Well, what we got here is something that I've been tinkering with for about a month. Actually, probably a week and a half's work. It's a walnut stump, actually a walnut tree got blew down on our property. So I took a chainsaw out there and it was so pretty, I'm thinking, man, I'd love to have a gun stock made out of this. And anyway, I sawed it out with a chainsaw and whittled it down by hand. Everything was hand done, but I guess maybe more important, that rod is anybody know what a Browning Siloflex is? You remember that? Come out in 1989. And I think to about 1993 or 4 when Zebco bought Browning. So anyway, that particular rod was the extra rod that I carried to the Classic in 1993. We could carry, I don't remember, Kevin probably does, 8 or 10 rods is all we could have. But we could bring one extra rod, and that is the extra rod. The reel, I had all my reels in order, but my son got a hold of them, and they sort of got mixed up. I do know that there's a good chance I used that reel. It's got strand cranking line, if anybody remembers what that is, and that's back, all this stuff's back in the 80s and 90s. The Pose lure, we call it Clark Gable. That was a color green and chartreuse with green, tiger green stripes on it. And that was one of the baits that still got line tied on it that I used in a Classic in 1993. So anyway, I did have to purchase a lampshade. I ain't too good at doing that, but woodwork I'm very good at. I've made enough lures over the years. I know a little bit about woodwork. So I've signed the bottom. This is number 1, 001. And I've got the date on it. I'll sign the lure, whoever buys it, if you want me to sign the lure. But more importantly, you know, this is my stuff, but this is history. This is something that come out and was one of the main, I don't know, top items you could buy in the 80s and 90s. You know, we had Abu, we had Daiwa, and I'm not even sure if Shimano was out yet. I don't know. I can't remember. They probably was, but that's what you had to choose from. I mean, there was some Flugers and a few other old reels, but the Lew's was always my favorite because it outthrew everything out there. I could throw a bait further than anybody. So anyway, it does have the BB1, and I can't tell you that I probably bought it in the 80s, or they probably sent it to me in the 80s. So anyway, that's what it is. I made it 100% except the lampshade, over a week's work. So I hope you guys make a good donation. If not, I'm going to buy it back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, one of a kind. You can't get that anywhere else except for here tonight, today. All right, what do you give here now? 5? Go ahead.
So I'm not a good auctioneer, but I'm going to start this with my money, $2,000.
I got 2,000 now, 21, over to 2,100. 2,100 over to 2,100.
Very good
21 now,
bidder.
2,200. 22 over to 22. 22, you get up on that 22, 2,200. 22 would give 2,200. 2,200 over to 2,200. Didn't you say 21 over here? 2,100 over 2,100. 2,100 over 2,100. 2,100. Who was that raised their hand over here? 2,100? Or he said 21 over here? I thought somebody went like this. I'm sorry, Davey. 2,100 over to 2,100. I got 2,000 on David now, 2,100. 2,100 over to 2,100. 2,100 over to 2,100. Give it to buy me at 2,100. 2,100, one of a kind. 2,100 over to 2,100. Piece of history, 2,100. Would it give 2,100? 21, now 22. 22, David. 22 over 22. 2,200. 22.
I said I would start it at 2 now.
2200 by 2200. What do you give 2200? 2200 by 2200. 2200 by 2200. Did you say yes? 22. Now 23. What do you give 2300? 23. Now 2400 by 2400. What do you give 2400? 2400, ma'am, you're out. 2400 by 2124. Now 2500, 25. Now 2600. What do you give 2600, ma'am? 2600 by 2600. 2600. What do you give 2600? 2600. 2600, ma'am. 2600. Give it to mom at 2600. 2600. What do you give 2600? 2600. I got 25 back there now. 2600. 2600 all done. 2600. 2600 last call. 2600. 2600 all done. All done. All done. 2600. 2600. 2600. Sold it. $2,500 back there in the back.
Lynn Reeves. Mr. Lewis.
Wow, that is an incredible one-of-a-kind item. Thank you very much, David Fritz, for donating
what
that.
a piece of history.
Putting your time into it. We have another one-of-a-kind item, and this is a surprise item. We recognized one of our assistant auctioneers out in the crowd and his retirement. But Doug Shermer, an incredible artist, has made... Doug, this is one of one, right? This is the only one. This is the original, and let's unveil it right now. I don't think even Kevin's seen it.
Tell him about it a little bit.
We need to get a shot of that on the camera, not to be producer. Hey, let's just spin that camera over.
So there's some cool pictures.
We can do this.
Kevin,
Yeah.
Doug did this. Tell us about it a little bit, Doug. Kevin's final year on the Tournament Trail.
I got to Marshall with Kevin.
Oh, boy.
On the cross. And two of those pictures are directly from when he was on the cross. Actually, that largemouth's the first bass he caught on that day. Put a little bit of everything he likes in there. Hunting, fishing, largemouth, smallmouth, and just a tribute to Kevin and all of his great.
That's
Bo
awesome.
and
It is.
Mark-
It's pretty dang special. I'm walking right over to my wife with this right now.
Hey, Kevin, hold it up in front of that camera so everyone can see it real quick, though.
All I know, Bo and Mercer, is that Davey Hyatt started with his money on the last item, so.
What are you saying? I got to start?
No, I'm saying.
Oh,
Maybe
you're getting
Kevin.
called
Well,
out,
he
Kevin,
can't
on your own
start
picture.
it.
Got it?
See, he's asking permission right now.
It's worth. I'm starting at 1,000 for sure.
You'll start at $2,000?
$2,000.
Hey, that's a wife you hold on to. She's like,
damn
I'm going to buy
straight.
it for my man. 2,000 now, 2,100. 21, what do you do? 2,100? 2,100. One of a kind now. 2,100, 2,100. 2,100, get around about 2,100. $2,100, 2,100, 2,100. You would buy them at 2,100. 2,100. What do you give 2,100? 2,100, 2,100. 2,100, 2,100. It's an original. It's the only one. 2,100, what do you give 2,100? 2,100, 2,100.
Sure, you have to buy that.
2,100 over 2,100, 2,100. What do you give 2,100? 2,100 over 2,100, 2,100, 2,100, 2,100 all done, 2,100, 2,100 all done, all done. Last call. Sold it, $2,000 right there.
That's a no-brainer.
We got the. Ike and Ellie, are you ready to do this? We got another item. Don't worry. Just sit. Now you know how we all felt. The feed just cuts out. Oh, horrible timing. By the way, before we induct you, Ike and Ellie, I find it ironic that your podcast, Ike Live, any Ike Live fans in the house? Let's hear it for him. Has crank called Bass Pro Shops no less than 732 times. Johnny'd like to talk to you. No, we got another item. Well, you're not done. The canoe. Oh, you changed it. All right, we don't. Sorry, Ike and Ellie, we're really going to do this. Let's hear it for Bo Diddley, ladies and gentlemen. Incredible. They told me we were doing the canoe with the beer, but maybe we're keeping that for the after party, which is always a good time. Before we go any further, we have one inductee, and I'll be honest, you got a lot of tables, and I know your friends. I'm a little let down. It turns out when you guys tuck in your shirts and wear a belt, you get quiet. I mean, so you better bring it here. Our next inductee is
A one-of-a-kind angler from New Jersey, Mike Iaconelli brings an urban flair to a sport traditionally ruled by Southern anglers. He is the only angler in history to have won a BASS Federation Nation Championship, the Bassmaster Classic, a Bassmaster Angler of the Year title, and a Bassmaster Kayak Series Championship. An 11-time winner across Bassmaster, FLW, and MLF events with more than $3 million in earnings over his 25-plus year career, Iaconelli has left an indelible mark on the sport, both on and off the water. He is co-founder of the Bass University, a vast series of pro angler seminars designed to teach the sport at a higher level. Alongside his wife, Becky, Iaconelli operates the Ike Foundation, a nonprofit organization that raises funds and engages youth anglers through events and scholarships. 2023 Bass Fishing Hall of Fame inductee, Mike Iaconelli.
How's everybody doing tonight? It's, they had on the itinerary that the speech time was 3 to 5 minutes. They won't play the Oscar music to pull me off if I go over that, will they? Okay. This is the most amazing feeling. I can't even put it into words, but to look out at this sea of people who are my heroes from the fishing industry. Not just the fishermen, but the writers, the retailers, my friends. It really feels like my life has come full circle. At the Bassmaster Classic this year, they surprised me, and the surprise was given by Bill Dance, who was a hero of mine since I was 11 or 12 years old. To hear it from him was one of the most amazing things that's ever happened in my life. But even at that moment, I thought I was being pranked. There's no slime's gonna follow me, Dave. Slime? Nothing. This is real? Okay, if this is official and it's real, where's Kevin? Kevin? I guess I'm actually part of the community now. Feels good. Feels good. I tried to think on how to structure, going over this amazing list of people that have impacted me. And I just wanted to start by saying that, the smallest things can impact your life, right? Not just meeting people, not just the experiences you have, but watching people from afar. And so many of you in this room tonight you've impacted me in such a huge way. And it's changed my life. I'm gonna try to do this in chronological order. I don't know if it's gonna work, but the first thanks I have to give is to God. This is amazing that I have this opportunity to do this. It's amazing. This is, it's just almost doesn't feel real. But I want to start with my family, the ones that introduced me to fishing. And I know everyone has this same story, but I want to thank my Uncle Don and my mom and my grandparents, Pop and Graham, for introducing me to fishing. Those early trips in the Poconos have impacted me forever. And thank you guys for introducing me to fishing. It has changed my life. Thank you guys for teaching me about work ethic. Watching you guys work, hard work, does pay off. And I appreciate all those lessons. Thank you guys. I love you guys. to the next list is my childhood friends, who a lot of them are here tonight. The rowdy ones that are supposed to get rowdy that are just being very quiet right now. My childhood friends were a peer group, but they were guys that helped me get to the next level. In the New Jersey, Philadelphia area, we were the oddballs. We were the outcasts. Fishing was not cool back then in that area. And these guys were my support unit and the guys that helped me get to the next level. So Tom Hernishin, Dave Brodzik, John McGraw, Brian the Carpenter, thank you. Thank you for uplifting me. And by the way, I want to not apologize for calling a 2-pounder a big one, because it is in New Jersey. 2-pounder's a big one in New Jersey. Really is. The next one is an era of fishing. I call it the golden era, the first golden era of fishing, which is, in my opinion, the best time of bass fishing, which was the early 80s to the mid-90s. Who remembers that period? Raise their hand. It was incredible. Do you remember it? It was incredible. And that period changed my life, right? The TV shows, Bassmaster, TNN, changed my life. And watching these guys from afar, watching the sport from afar, it changed the way I thought. My heroes are here tonight. I'm looking at them. Larry Nixon, Rick Clunn. They're all here. Davey Heights in the back. I got to come home from school and watch these guys, and they created this dream for me. So thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Rick. The magazines. I want to make sure I say the magazines, because back then it was pre-internet. And the magazines for me were the gold. They were the gold. And Bassmaster magazine and In Fisherman, all those magazines were just unbelievable to see what was going on. And last but not least, the TV guys who shaped my life. Jimmy Houston and Bill Dance and Roland Martin and Orlando Wilson. Where's Orlando at? Is he selling real estate? Or you guys changed my life. You really did, so thank you. And watching these guys too, not just their fishing, but the way they carried themselves in the public, I tried to emulate what they did. And it's so important to have role models like that from afar. So thank you, guys. The next one is my old fishing club, Top Rod Bassmasters. And Top Rod Bassmasters and the New Jersey Bass Federation was the single most important thing that ever happened to me to get to where I'm at today. Everything I've learned about professional fishing, I learned at the club level. I would not be here without the fishing club. I can remember the club meeting that we had, and we watched Top Rod Bassmasters, by the way. We watched Brian Kershaw win the Classic. For a kid from New Jersey in his early 20s, watching a Northeasterner coming through the club level win was the most amazing thing. And it said, you can do it. You can be a regular dude from New Jersey and make it in this sport. It was an amazing time. Club fishing brought me to the next level and fishing the old Bassmaster Invitationals and the Red Man Trail. And that was another time in my life that changed everything, because I got to see the real scope of what being a pro angler meant. And the old group of guys I traveled with, a few are here tonight, thank you so much for the lessons. We called ourselves the Ugly Clan because we were ugly. Timmy Roach is here tonight, one of the old Ugly Clan. Dave Mansu is here tonight, one of the... You're ugly, Dave. And of course, Pete Glusick, who's also ugly, is here tonight. Thank you, guys. That time was amazing, and I learned so much about the travel and the sponsors, and you told me so much. It was amazing. Around that time, when all that was going on, and I was so excited to have this new career, I had these two beautiful, wonderful children, Drew and Riley. And when you have children, it changes your life. And when you're in your early, mid-20s and you have kids, it changes your life. It makes you grow up. But they've become my entire life. And they're beautiful, smart. They make me love life every day. And I watch them, and they keep me young. Thank you, Drew and Riley. I love you guys. Thank you. I want to thank the tours. I know a lot of the tours are here tonight. And Bass, FLW, MLF, thank you guys for the opportunities that you've given me. It was all because of those opportunities, right? And not just the tournaments themselves, but the exposure. That is so amazing that I look at the opportunities that I had through the organizations. Thank you, guys. With all the travel, you guys were my home away from home, the staff, the tournament departments, all of it. I want to thank the organizations. It was awesome. In 2003, I won the Bassmaster Classic, and it changed my life. Not because Fish Fishburne bribed me to breakdance on stage, but because it really did put me in a different direction. Going into the 2003 Classic, I thought it was my last event. I thought it was my last tournament. Tournament fishing's hard, and I had a tough spot in my life and in my career. And when I won the Classic, it was a sign to keep doing what I was doing. And you hear the stories that it changed your life. It really did. But on the drive home from the Bassmaster Classic, any guesses on how long it takes to get from Louisiana to New Jersey? It's like a week. It's a week or a couple days. On the drive home, I drove home with my good friend John McGraw and my good friend Pete Glusick. And in that drive home, we strategized on what you should do when you win the Bassmaster Classic. And I remember writing notes on a notepad about what this would mean and having an impact on people because of the win. And I took that really seriously, and I really want to say thank you to Pete Glusick for being a mentor for me all these years and helping me create a roadmap for what to do. Thank you, Pete. That was amazing. That was amazing. The next thanks is, I think this is one where they get forgotten a lot, and it's the media, the photographers, the websites, many of whom are in this room tonight. Thank you, guys. Oh my gosh, thank you guys for giving me a voice Thank you for helping me build my brand and reach people. I could have never done that without that access. Couple I want to highlight in the room real quick. Mark Jeffries. Thank you, Mark. Ken Duke. Thank you, Ken. You guys have really taught me a lot about how to act in the media, what to do, a podcast. Thank you. And, you know, the media portrayed me over the years, good and bad. And I can tell you that the media created different roles. I'm going to let you guys answer this one. We had the good guy. Who's the good guy? Kevin. We had the comedian. Swindle. Of course. We had the Southern Gentleman. Anybody? Cochran, the original Southern Gentleman. We had the male stripper. Skeet. Of course, you got to have a male stripper thrown in there. And then we had the bad guy. I never had a problem taking that role, knowing that I could use it to help grow the sport and get visibility for the sport. So, thank you for making me the bad guy. I'm not really a bad guy. No Oscar music yet? Okay. Oh, my God. Oh, there it goes. Where's the cane? Oh, boy. This is bad. And it keeps coming. All right. To all my sponsors, hey, listen, sponsorship makes this business happen. To all my sponsors, past and present, thank you for the support. Thank you for taking a chance on me. A lot of them here tonight. You did not have to take a chance with me. And thank you for doing that. I've always tried my best to help promote the products that I believe in. So thank you for taking a chance with me. In 2006, I won Angler of the Year. I had my uncle there by my side. It was an amazing feeling, and winning AOY is a dream come true. But something bigger happened in 2006, and that was the year that I met my wife, Becky. And when you meet somebody that you know is your person, if you've met that person, you know what I'm talking about. But it's unbelievable because you know it right away. And I met the person that is my person. She's my best friend. She's a great mom. She's my partner in crime. She hustles harder than any woman I know. And she is the genius behind the business, not me. Zero. I get zero credit. She's the smartest lady I know, and the businesses that we've created are because of Becky. Pro Edge, Bash University, Ike Live, Going Ike, Ike in the Shop, and the Ike Foundation are all her brainchild. And she's amazing. Becky, I'm so thankful that you came into my life under the weirdest circumstance at an after party at ICAST in Las Vegas, being introduced by Byron Velvick and Mary Delgado. What a strange way to meet your soulmate. But it's true. That happened. So strange. And with meeting Becky, I've got some amazing bonuses with Becky's mom and dad and Becky's brother and sister-in-law and their kids. And I got an amazing extended family And thank you guys. I love you guys very much. Vegas and Stella, I love you guys. It's hard to follow in the footsteps of Drew and Riley. Two amazing older sisters. It's hard to follow in their footsteps. But let me tell you that now that I'm an older guy and I'm getting older, you keep me young. You keep me sane when things are tough. You keep me happy when things are bad. Cue the last 4 tournaments of the year this year. And I look at you and see youth, and I remember why I keep pushing. So thank you guys for being a great inspiration at 12 and 10. You guys inspire me every day, and I love you. She's 11. She's 11 now. I'm sorry. She just turned 11. Thank you for the correction. Strong personality. To my coworkers and the people that I work with every day, Pro Edge Fishing, a few tonight here in the room. Miss Janet, I love you. Riz, Bass University, so many coworkers here tonight. And the agencies I work with, I think Alan McGuckin's here from Dynamic. My attorney, Jay Spiegel's here tonight. Charles, my video guy's here tonight. Thank you, guys. Thank you to my coworkers because you make me look really good because I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to those pieces of the business. Thank you for making me look really good. Last but not least, save this one for the end. It's the most important. The fans. And the fans have kept me going all these years. I wouldn't go back and change a single thing that happened in my career. I might do some things a little different, but the fans have been with me through the good and the bad, the ups and the downs. They've laughed with me. They've cried with me. I think they've broken a few rods over their leg with me. The fans have kept me going. Thank you to all the fans. There's some in the room tonight. There's some watching tonight. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for making me remember why I do this every day. Thank you. That was a big list. But in the end, I want everyone to remember that you have an impact on other people. No matter how small or how far away, you can have an impact on someone. My life changed from those interactions and all that stuff that happened. Watching you guys changed my life. Everyone in this room has an obligation to impact someone in a positive way. The one thing I always try to end with in these things is to grow the sport. And we could all do that. We could all grow the sport by impacting someone, a kid, someone that's never fished. Show them why we love this sport. Show them why we're passionate about it. Show that to people. Have an impact on them. And that's the way we're going to grow fishing into something bigger and better than it's ever been. Thank you, guys. I am so honored by this award. My life has come full circle. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Joining Mike Iaconelli on stage with his plaque presentation, Kevin Van Dam.
Officially part of the community. Do somebody just like yourself, too.
Let's hear it for Mike Iaconelli and all our inductees here this evening. I want to thank everybody for coming out here tonight. You guys care about this sport. You give back to this sport. And nothing is strong without the foundation. And if you look at those banners up on the wall and you see these fine people that we're going to ask to come up here, our foundation is pretty strong. Thank you guys for being part of the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame 2023 inductions. All our Hall of Famers, if we can get you up here for a picture right now. And then we got some stuff to,
We are, exactly.
yeah, what do we got here while we get all our Hall of Famers?
Let's see if they'll turn on my mic.
Okay,
Is
they
my
got
mic,
you.
My mic's on. Okay,
You just
good.
got to project.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate all the support you've given to the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame this evening. As you know, our
Hey, Mazurk, one more time. We got to get everybody with a blue jacket.
All the blue
Rick
jackets.
Klund, that is you.
All the blue jackets. I've told. I'll
I'll call you up. Bill
Dance.
Dance. Bill Dance, we need you up here. Sorry, Mazurk. I'm
That's
just
okay.
trying to get you a nice picture here.
Hey, David.
He doesn't
we
listen
need
to
that.
anybody. Johnny, will you tell him to come up here? He seems to listen to you.
Dave, you got that under control up there or what?
Davey Height is not even.
Davey Height. All right, let's. While this is all going on, Brad, thank you for getting that photo all set up. We will start our bucket raffle. Again, on behalf of everybody with the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame Board of Directors, we thank Johnny Morris. We thank everybody here at Wonders of Wildlife. The service, the food this evening was absolutely great. Let's give a big round of applause to the folks here at the White River Conference Center. And because I know this is going to be fun, I'm going to turn this over to Donald Howell, who is going to pick all our numbers and will award some of our bucket raffles. So, Donald, let me turn it over to you, because I know this is going to be fun. So the first one is a variety of items from Guggen Baits, which is House of Outdoors, Bass Mafia. There's a bunch of Bass Mafia stuff up here too, but let's do the Guggen Baits first.
All right, ticket number 0405 055. If you are the winning ticket number, please come see me.
Thank you, Donald. Everybody got that? All right, we have the next one. All right. I'm sure he's not trying to cheat us, Donald, right? All right, I'm sure he's not trying to cheat us. We have a variety of spinnerbaits from Shimano and Epic Biz Baits and Power Pro, some Shimano pliers, more Bass Mafia stuff, and some items from Northland Tackle. Donald, give us the number.
0404871.
We have a winner. Let's move on. Our next bucket is a real nice package. It's the In-Fisherman Bass Guide package. Thank you, Todd Seisner, for that. We threw in a couple extra things. The Shimano folks threw in a variety of items, a bunch of Power Pros, some pliers, a whole bunch of spinnerbaits. Epic Baits threw in some spinnerbaits. Hook threw in some shorts and shirts. There's a whole bunch of stuff up here. Donald, give us a number.
0404982.
We have a winner? Call it again, Donald.
0404982.
We have a winner. We got a winner. All right, the next one, this is really a big Epic Baits package, along with a whole bunch of Shimano spinnerbaits, some marabou jigs from Northland. Plus this also includes a Mojo bass rod from St. Croix. Donald, tell me the number.
0405307.
We got a winner. Let's move on down, Donald. We have a package, starts off with a bunch of items from Daiwa, one of their tackle bags. We got a couple shirts. We got a Shimano pliers. We got more shirts. We got Epic buzzbaits, Bizbait buzzbaits, Bizbait jigs, Marabou jigs from Northland, a variety of good stuff. And we appreciate all the support we've got from all our industry people. Donald, tell me the number.
0405447.
One more time, Donald.
0405447.
There we go. We got a winner. Okay. We're moving on. I thought we only had like 3, Donald. Why do we have a whole bunch? All right, we have another one. We have a whole bunch of Bizbait spinner baits. We've got nickel lures, these big old plugs. We got some Power Pro braid. We've got some Northland jigs. We've got Shimano pliers. We've got Bizbait jigs and a whole bunch of stuff, Donald.
0405384. 0405384.
We got a winner. While we're waiting for the winner, let me thank the folks from Foundation Outdoor Group. I'm not sure if you saw that earlier, but they made special rods for our 3 inductees. So the Bruce Holt family, the Mike Iaconelli and Glenn Andrews got one-of-a-kind custom-made rods from American Tackle Foundation Outdoor Group. Very, very cool. So we thank you guys for the support you provided the Hall of Fame this evening. All right, we got one more prize. A variety of items from Bass Mafia. A whole bunch of items from Bass Mafia. Chris Zaldane Dangerous Swim Baits. Hats, spinner baits from Epic. Some Power Pro line from, obviously from Power Pro. And I'm done. Donald, give us a number. And I can put this microphone down, thank God.
0405196. 0405196.
All righty. Dave Mercer, I'm sending it back to you to close out the evening. Are you up there or are you done? He's not up. Dave Mercer to close out our evening. Dave Mercer and Sarah Mercer, on behalf of the board of directors, we cannot thank you guys enough for what you do for this organization and the fact that you won't let us even buy your room for you. But anyhow, Dave, I want you to close it out. No, and the run of show, Dave, was September 26, 2024. Remember? Okay.
Oh yeah, we got a very exciting announcement because everybody, I know you're excited to come back here next year. September 26th is the date. It's always the final Thursday in September. So make sure to come back here next year and continue promoting the incredible heritage and the amazing things. If you didn't learn how this whole works, listen to Iaconelli's speech. The people that inspired Iaconelli, and there's a whole raft of people coming that Iaconelli inspired. So this sport is alive and well for many, many years to come. Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you guys at the after party.